Okay, just a bonus because I was kind of getting carried away earlier. Probably previous video. Actually, the garage door opener. This is the timer control box for the lawn sprinkler system. We're inside the garage. This is a receiver. It's the rain sensor receiver. Sometimes they're freeze. Yeah, rain and freeze. Okay, it's a weather sensor is what I like to call them. I do. Here's how to get so we got instructions here. We do have some kind of instructions. Not really. Okay, and they probably not, if you even came, you have to go online to get them. The zones are not labeled. I do notice this. You go like, look at that. Is that cool or what? Just go zone, okay, 7, previous. Zone 1. You go right there. I just want to run the guy. Since it's got 10 minutes on it, I just hit OK. And it's sprinkling. I can hear it. I've already run it. It's counting down. I just hit stop. I heard it stop. How about that? Go back. Go back. Go back. That's the way I found it. That's the way I found it. And I just kind of say, and then I got, some of them are spraying the house, some of them are spraying the flat work. I got a whole table where the lawn sprinkler food paws sprinkles the fence over here. Fence isn't doing so good. Fence isn't doing so good. Alright. No help, no thanks to the lawn sprinkler system. Lawn sprinkler system goes on. Just right here. That's the weather sensor. Yeah, that was the receiver. That's your sensor. That's not working. That's not working. So your weather sensor is broken. But what we're really here for is the swimming pool. Okay, let's go. Let's see what we got. We go around here, around this rotten wood. Now, see, this looks like the pump is leaking. It's the air conditioner. The pump was running when I got here, and it was dry when I got here. I never turned the pump off. So if the pump has a history of leaking, it should have been leaking. I'm not going to promise you that it'll never leak. That's not a guarantee, but this puddle, what I'm seeing, this is a symptom of the air conditioner leaking. We go over here, we got an inline chlorinator. Our valves, our control valves, should have been labeled. We should know what these valves do. I choose not to operate the valves. Again, do no harm, but I still want to see them labeled so that when you come in to do your valves, you want to see how they're labeled. This is the bonding between your motors. This is the bonding between your, I like to call it the aerator, or what do they call that? The blower motor. Blower motor. And the bonding comes down, and it's grounded. It's grounded. Looks like it used to be grounded to something else. Sure did. It used to be grounded to the heater. You do not have a heater, so you do not have a spot. I don't know what you want to call it, but you do not have a spot. Alright, and maybe the heater is in partial the reason why we've got a little bit of wood damage up here. Of course, we got wood damage in a lot of places that the heater wasn't. So the controls should not be located on the wall behind the unit. People have to reach over here to get to the controls. One kind of nice feature that I like is that they do have a main shut-off switch over here. So it's in front of it. You can turn off the switch and get to it. But you really can't get over to the switch and service it. This is your electrical cable right here to the heater. How about that? That look kind of wank? Okay. I can't say wank on my inspection reports. Alright, I got our dead front covers. It says the 16 PS, 16 PSI, 16 PSI, 7 PSI, 17 PSI. People like this. What do we got over here? We got 30 PSI. That's too high for it's a diatomaceous earth filter. Alright? That's too high. That tells us that the system needs to be serviced. It's telling us that it needs to be serviced. And this unit is the number 48. Alright, per square inches. The number 48 that says punched out here. We've got our serial number here. Serial number and model number punched out above. Okay, that's the model number. Serial number would be F. Whatever F means for Purex Triton. But it looks like it's pretty old. I do say so myself. And we got a lot of pressure going on up here. Now, this, are you going? I swear sometimes I think I can hear it. Oh yeah, I lost my rubber gizmo. Alright, must have been my imagination because it was in the off position. I'd actually put it in the off position. It's in the on position now. So we should be able to see if we can get some bubbles or not. So what do we learn back here? We learned that we got too much pressure on the filter. Jury's out on the blower. We do not have a service light, not required. I'll write it up as a deficiency because it's a safety item. We got disconnected conduit. Okay. We got to reach over this. Our handles are not labeled. Our valves are not labeled. And our heater's missing. And I say our heater's missing because you have a spa. If you're advertising a spa, your heater's missing. Just saying. Over here. GFCI works. That's good to know. Good to know. Okay, while we're over here, let's try some more stuff. We're triers, we're doers. We're here to try and do. Try to do and be a part. That's the main disconnect right there. Sounds like those bearings are a little rough, doesn't it? Takes just a little while for them to get to speed. Let's see what we did here. Inquiring minds want to know. Is that a shepherd's hook? No, it's not a shepherd's hook. Let me just write this right down here a little bit. Heist oil on east side of the garage. Failed but during testing, I guess. Loud bearings on the pump motor. Coming along, we got our lights. Nice fall lights, we got that. Lights are on, that was that. One of these is supposed to be for the spa. You can't read it, but they're both on because I turned them on. That's your GFCI, I tried that. Well, let's try it again. You know, operator error and all that stuff, all that jazz. Yep, I had tried it and it's, well, you know what, I'm going to try it again. So that puts out the pool lights. The pool lights are on GFCI, so we tried those. I'm going to reset the GFCI, I'm going to turn all this off. But this also tells us, by the way, the spa, the aerator, the bubbles. Oh, we got more switches, bud. Keep going. Listen to that. There we go. Cold water bubbles. Okay. Operator error is my middle name. Coming over here, we got electric receptacle down there in the bushes I'm not going to mess with. Look at that. All loose like that. That's not so good. That's so you can service the swimming pool. Look at that. Just no heater. Plastic skimmers, they need to be replaced about every 3 years. People step on that, they break it, they break their ankle, then it's a homeowner's insurance claim. Our mastic sealer around the swimming pool is starting to shrink and come loose. Okay. Now I done stirred up hillbilly home inspection, but we can see green hue around here. We got some moss. We got some moss growing on here. Now I measured triangulated the measurements on the spa and the swimming pool just to see how this thing was floating. And let's see if I got my notes around here somewhere. There we go. In the spa, okay, I was only getting about a ½ inch difference. About a ½ inch difference. 6.5 to 7 inches going to the edge. And the swimming pool, it's a little closer. It's 5.5 to 6 inches, and only ½ an inch difference here too. So coming along. This vacuum was working when I got here. Alright, and then when I turned off the pump, now the vacuum's not working. It'll take a while to prime it or something. It'll take a while for something for it to happen. The whip end, it does not have its whip end. cover. A little, it's like, they cost like $2. It's a little foam end. These skimmers have weir traps in them. Alright, with the plastic tops, they have weir traps. I opened both of them, but just as an example here. Okay, so they have weir traps in them. Okay, and we got a chlorinator tablet in there. The inline chlorinator must not be working so good, huh? Is that what that is? Why do you put a chlorinator in there like that? Why do you have moss over there? How's our inline chlorinator doing? It sounds like our pump lost its prime. Okay. Pump lost its prime. The thing with the weir traps, they're supposed to be there. They come with it. There's nothing wrong with having them. There's not a deficiency with not having them. They're convenient because when the leaves go past the trap, they stay in the skimmer and they don't come back out. But they also, and I don't know this, they make a natural trap. They make a trap for usually young boys or whatever. They'll stick their arms inside there and that weir trap is in there and they get their arms stuck in there. And then it's like a Chinese finger handcuffs. They can't pull it out. And so they're stuck and their shoulder is higher than their head. And after a while they get tired and it's just a horrible, horrible story. So if you have children or expect children to be playing in here, I highly encourage you to remove the weir traps. But it's not a deficiency. I'm not going to, and you know, it's a pretty fantastic safety story too. So this is not a deficiency. If you have chlorinators floating around because you don't want the green inside your surfaces, and your surfaces look mostly pretty good, floating chlorinators go out when people go in. Okay, you do not want. They're toys to children. They're flying saucers. They throw them. They catch them. They're reaching over their head to catch them. And the chlorinated water comes down on their. I tell horrible stories. Over here, you can see that we got a little bit of mottling on the plaster surface. All right, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not like the pool has to be refinished today or tomorrow or day after tomorrow. It's showing signs of its wear. It's pretty much normal signs of its wear. So yes, it is kind of greenish. What else? All of our doors and first floor windows should be self-closing, and they should have a unique alarm to them, so that if you're upstairs ironing and somebody comes out this door, you know that somebody's gone into the swimming pool area. And these doors and windows do not have that feature. Another thing is that at one time this pool had a cover on it. And that cover, we might be able to find it someplace. You might have it in, I don't know what kind of condition it's in. This pool doesn't have a heater. But should this pool have a heater, then if you put a heater in here, you're going to have to also purchase a cover for the swimming pool to hold the heat for energy service. Some of our coping tiles are kind of loose over here. Is that right? Just kind of correct. Just a little bit of movement. Just a little bit of movement. So our coping tiles are kind of rough over on this edge. And just know that it's going to be an extra expense that you're going to have. If you put a heater in here, it's going to have a cover on it. These doors are supposed to be self-closing. And by the way, a rail, especially if you've got children, you know, so there should be a safety rail, an energy cover, alarms on the doors. Doors should be self-closing as the windows. Now the fences, all these fences are installed inside out. Now this one not so much, because somebody's put their own fence over here. So I don't know what that's about, but that has circumvented the fence issue on this side. Now the fence issue on this side, well, it's kind of tit for tat here because there's a swimming pool next door. But the neighbors, the rails on this fence are inside out, they're on the outside, so that somebody could use the fence rails to climb over. If they don't want to swim in their pool, they can come over and swim in your pool while you're not aware, and that's a danger issue or whatever. So this is kind of a no-win situation, unless they've got they could put, for example, each side could have the pickets, the fence planks on both sides. You could sandwich, like it's been sandwiched over here. See, the rails have been sandwiched between these two fences. But in the meantime, no, that's not what's happened. And I'm going to come over here because our pool is not self-priming. How about that? Looks like it's trying to. I'm just going to turn it off and let them turn themselves on. If you look inside these little holes right there, it's raining on me. You see the sprockets? They're moving. If the sprockets are moving, we know that the timer is working. That's how we know that the timer is working. And pump motor did not seem like it's going to self-prime for us. So that's it. We didn't really learn too much. Not too much is going wrong over here. It seems like most of our problem is with the equipment. Plaster looks good. There is going to come a time. There's going to come a time when we're going to have to redo the mastic sealer sooner rather than later. I thought I saw something over here when I was standing across the way. It doesn't hurt to come over here and look. See, if you do not seal this, water will get up and your problem will continue. Your problem will continue if you do not seal that. Alright, so some of the coping tile sealant. And there goes my receptacle outlet tester. So we'll see how the rest of the day goes.